Thanks, Justin. First, to define the blue ocean and the red ocean. The blue ocean is a space where a firm can generate new demand in an uncontested market share or market space. This is an ideal place for a firm to be, as opposed to the red ocean, which is where firms are competing head to head with other suppliers for known customers in an existing industry. The decision for Nokia to acquire Navteq was a crucial business decision. The acquisition allows Nokia to stay competitive in the smartphone market. At the time of the acquisition, the integration of free maps into the cell phone was definitely a decision that allowed Nokia to move into the blue ocean space. However, it seems that at this point in time, many other technology companies have quickly caught up, and free maps are almost expected by the consumer to be on their cell phone. It's no longer really a differentiator for Nokia. So it's kind of trending back towards the red ocean space. I think that without this acquisition, Nokia would not be in the place where it is today, but I think it's very important that Nokia continues to research and push ahead with new technologies in order to stay in the blue ocean space. Next, and our last and final question I'm going to pose towards Lauren is Google and Microsoft are both offering a new visual images search. Users can pinpoint the image of the information they're looking for with the Google Image Swirl and Microsoft Bing Virtual Search. Google Goggles is a mobile phone application in which you can take photos of a restaurant, for example, and then learn about its name, its menu, and read customer reviews. Does this mean that someday you can take a photo of a person and find all the information out about that person? Do these advancements bother you in terms of privacy?
We're going to start off with the definition of visual search. Visual search is a type of perceptual task requiring attention that typically involves an active scan of the visual environment for a particular object or feature, aka the target, among other objects or features. Basically, what Google Goggles, Google Image Swirl, and Microsoft Bing Visual Search, they've kind of put all of this, online. It's now digital. First, to start off with, we'll touch on Google's Image Swirl, which basically allows you to sift through some 200,000 queries of images. Basically, with Google Image Swirl, for instance, if you searched Washington, you'd see 12 images of thumbnails including President Washington, the Washington Monument, a map of Washington, D.C., and the Capitol building. Once you find the group of images that you're interested in, you can click on the thumbnail and a cluster of images will swirl into view. In terms of Microsoft's Bing Visual Search, that's just kind of a way of performing searches on images that are tagged with useful data. Tagging has become a really big thing now, and so, if you tag something with a particular subject line, that photo you can kind of link between the photo and everything, so it should be pretty helpful. We found the most, though, on Google Goggles, which lets you search from your cell phone simply by snapping a photo. Now, we've had some experience firsthand with Google Goggles, and this was kind of a little disappointing. While certain things, major brand names, if you wave your phone, the Android phone, over, a particular product, it'll come up with whatever, the appropriate search. If it's something that's lesser known or a newer brand name, it kind of had trouble finding that, and it would then ask you, what are you searching for? So just taking a picture or, hovering over the object didn't actually get done what we thought was going to happen. Basically, and kind of some background, the Google Goggles, the prototype, uses Google's machine translation technology and image recognition capabilities to create an additional layer of useful context. But what's most important here is privacy. It's one thing to take your phone and take pictures of menus or, hover over another place of interest or an object and try to find out more about it, but when it gets to the point where you can take a picture of a person and then find out, all sorts of details about them, that's when we start to get a little bit concerned. I mean, how far is this technology going to be able to go? A lot of it is unanswered. A Google spokesperson said that, the app on Google Goggles that would come closest to this type of facial recognition hasn't actually been launched or built into any sort of app that would provide real value for users, which is why they haven't even really rolled it out. The spokesperson also does cite some important transparency and consumer choice issues. So definitely Google and Microsoft are aware of some of the issues, especially, with mobile technology and privacy. And it'll be interesting to see in the coming years how they respond to, there have definitely been some pushback from consumer advocacy groups who argue that, these new applications are going to invade consumer privacy and they don't want, important information, your social security number, or anything like that getting out. So there's going to be a lot of debate in recent years. We hope that it doesn't get to this point as we worry about consumers' privacy, but, we will see. And with that, we would like to conclude our YouTube video focused on Enterprise 2.0 and Web 2.0 technologies. We hope you enjoyed this presentation.